After you hear Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears, I'm Laura Rutledge. We're with you until noon. Then we switch over to ABC 1 to 3. You can also get coverage on NFL Network. Let's go to Miami. And you're excited about somebody there. We got to keep an eye on him. Who is it?
Yeah, Tua. Pressure. Listen, man, they have surrounded him. First of all, when you go out and pay $80 million for a left tackle, that's the commitment to your quarterback.
Yep.
We talk about Tyreek Hill. We know Tyreek is dynamic. We know quarterbacks need wide receivers. You pair that with Jalen Waddle. They decided to solidify this run game as well to help Tua. This is about Tua and how well he plays. If Tua plays well at a high level, Miami Dolphins will make the playoffs.
Number one pick last year, Trevor Lawrence, in his new situation with Doug Peterson down in Jacksonville. Number one, what did you learn last year that you cannot do in the league that you could do in college football? Does Doug Peterson follow the 2017 Eagles blueprint of heavy RPO that Trevor Lawrence mastered in college football? And also, that offensive line you played behind last year, did it help you play faster when it comes to operation at the quarterback situation? I love Trevor Lawrence this year for Jacksonville.
Zach Wilson, the former BYU Cougar, is lighting up this summer, already impressing in camp, has a chance to grow into the type of quarterback that the Jets want him to be. They think he's going to take the next step in this offense. Of course, we heard the same thing about Sam Darnold. Didn't happen that way, but the former BYU Cougar is obviously hoping to make it happen again this summer with the New York Jets.
He did it twice.
Double down. Love it. Shefty, we're here for it. How about Patrick Mahomes out there stretching it out? We'll be showing you Chiefs footage here for the next few minutes. You get to see them in practice. Unique opportunity, as Dan illustrated earlier, for Mahomes to show that he can do things in a slightly different scheme. How does he change things up, and what do they actually look like? I think that's the big question.
He's not tier one.
Yeah, right. In case you missed it, just these references, somebody talked about Patrick Mahomes and some other quarterbacks who happen to be black not being tier one and up to snuff. Now, he answered that question really well, and we'll move right past that because we know how talented he is.
Only 48 touchdowns?
What does this offense look like, Dan?
It's definitely different, right? This is an offense. I think there's three specific ways that the offense is certainly different. The strength of this the star of this offense, I honestly believe, is their offensive line.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as Patrick is, that offensive line has got a chance to be the best unit in the league. And I think that this unit with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy is going to be, hey, how many different ways can we just play drop-back football? Maybe it's not so much of the run-pass option, the RPO, that, Patrick, we're just going to call a pass play, that the offensive line is good enough to protect it, and you are totally capable of number one's open, number two's open, number three's open. Nope, not there. Four. Like drop back football. And then I think the second thing would be call it and run it. Like we're just going to call run plays instead of, again, the RPO. We're just going to turn around and hand the ball off and allow guys to just move people off the line of scrimmage.
How about the defense? Because it's going to change too, and it looks different. Justin Reed addition. What should we be looking out for there?
I like Justin Reed. He's a really good football player. He was kind of hidden in Houston, obviously, with what was going on with the Texans, but they also signed Carlos Dunlap, who we saw make some plays in Seattle.
Needed though, bro.
You got to have pass rush. Like, listen, what are we kidding ourselves? Max Crosby and Chandler Jones is in Las Vegas. Khalil Mack and Bosa is out in Los Angeles. You got Denver with Chubb and Gregory. Like, let's not kid ourselves. You're going to have to be able to rush the passer, and that's where the Chiefs lacked. They had to manufacture pressure last year, which cost them. Joe Burrow carved them up because they had to add extra guys into the box to try to get after the quarterback. This is when you're so good at football that you can take.
You're working the takeaway.
Watch when we put some of these other younger quarterbacks on TV. It's going to look like hell in their brain trying to figure out what I'm going to do at practice today. But what it really boils down to for the Chiefs is we know offensively they'll be fine. Right? They got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. They'll figure that out. On the defensive side of the ball is where we're separating teams in this division, which is why I have the Chargers winning this division right now.
I agree.
But ultimately, when you start going into the season, the Chiefs cannot wait. See, they don't have that luxury like last year to figure things out as the season goes along.
Good point.
Man, you may find yourself fourth in your division by week 5 or 6 if you don't get going early in this year.
You guys are probably too young for this, but back in the old AFL days, they used to have these shootouts out west. And I think the AFC West is capable of reverting back to the AFL days and having these 31, 38 games with Mahomes
right?
and Russell Wilson and Derek Carr and Justin Herbert. Your defense better be good, because if it's not good, you're going to get swallowed up real quick in that division.
Yeah, you're talking about the way they open a brutal first half of the schedule for the Chiefs. They opened the season with 8 straight games against teams that had winning records in 2021. According to Elias, the Chiefs are the first team in NFL history to start the season with 8 straight games against teams that had the winning record the previous season. It's like, how hard can it possibly get? Well, we're going to find out. All right, we have a special guest joining us here now on Back Together Saturday. DK Metcalf joining us, fresh off the new contract with Seattle. What's up, DK? We're so excited to have you here. Let's just first of all talk about the new contract. How did it feel to find out that you would be getting this contract, the belief that your team shows in you going forward?
Man, like I reiterated yesterday, it was just a blessing just to stay in the Pacific Northwest, and especially Seattle. This is a place that I've called home for the past 3 years, so I'm just happy to I've watched practice 2 days, so I'm just happy to be back out there.
DK, how's the quarterback competition going? Because Russell's not there, so it's Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Where does it stand? How's it going? How are they doing?
They both look real good at practice, going through all their progressions and reads, and I think it's just key that we just stay behind them and just show that we have confidence in them, as we go through this training camp.
DK, along with this contract, my man, that now you become the face of this organization and franchise. Like, what is your excitement level? What is your thought process in knowing that when people show up to that stadium, that crazy 12th man, you're going to have to set the tempo and be the leader, not only offensively, but for this team as a whole? How are you approaching that role now?
I think I was groomed by, 2 great leaders in Bobby and Russ. And, I talk to them, every day, and they just congratulated me, a couple days ago. But I think, it's just, a beautiful opportunity just to step into a role like that, knowing that I have, a lot of influence now, and, people are going to be looking at me different. But I'm just going to continue to be, myself, and just continue to lead my way, and, hopefully people follow.
Hey, DK, I love getting the chance to talk to you today in this studio, because I'm standing about 30 feet from the spot where you and I stood the week before the NFL draft when you were coming out. And I came over to you, you'll remember this, I believe, and I said to you, hey, there's some chatter out there that you might not go in the first round, that you might go in the second round. But don't worry, if you go in the second round, this is a league that's about your second contract, not your first contract. Do you remember the conversation that we had, and what have you learned about yourself since that time?
I learned to listen to Adam Schefter. Yeah, you're right, man. It was just a blessing to go in the second round. But my love for football has not changed. But I do remember that day very vividly in that ESPN studio.
Yeah.
Man, the smile there, I think, told it all. Shefty, what a cool story. All right, there was a back and forth, DK, with you and Lamar Jackson on Twitter. You posted a photo of his physique, and you were like, dang, let me borrow a bicep. Final word, that's what he said. So, final word, who has the better physique, you or Lamar?
Pause.
Oh, man. No, get into those type of competitions. I think I look the best, though.
There we go.
DK, I will say this, man, and we don't say this enough. Like, I think sometimes, the media gets pitted against players, and we had this dialogue and this conversation. Proud of you, dude. Yeah. Like, literally, I watched you at Ole Miss, watched you and A.J. Brown, and I know both of you guys were highly regarded, but proud that you at this point, man, and keep going, keep doing your thing. Hopefully I'll be able to see you, because I've never seen a receiver look like this in person before. So hopefully I get a chance to see you at a stadium at some point this year.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. And now that you have the contract, DK, do you still want to be the movie star that you are, or are we giving up on that?
Oh.
No, stay in Hollywood.
Oh, we ain't giving up on that. No, that's just more money for more practice.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I love it.
Yes, sir.
By the way, DK, Dan and I will see you soon, because we'll be there for a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, we're coming out. Will we have the same hair color, or are we going different color for when games start?
No, I'm probably going to keep this the rest of the season, man.
Okay.
My scalp was burning last night.
Let you know.
The scalp was burning with that bleach. I can relate. Actually, I need to get my roots done. All right, DK, you rock. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Congrats, man. Yeah, for sure.
Let's get more coming your way as we check out so many practices across the league. We head out to the Jets. How about Sauce Gardner? Man, he had to pay some money for that number, but he got it. We'll see what Sauce is going to bring to the table. That's next on Back Together Saturday with NFL Live. The wait for the 2022 NFL season is almost over, and nothing compares to being at the game. Tickets to regular season games are on sale now. Just scan the QR code on the bottom left of the screen to get into the action and to celebrate Back Together Saturday. If you purchase tickets within the next 72 hours, you will receive a 25% discount code to NFLshop.com, as well as a personalized discount code to purchase NFL Plus for the preseason, and an entry into a sweepstakes to win an exclusive Wilson Duke football. Terms and conditions apply.